Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, I want to take you to the current predicament that has befallen the 7 judges of the Supreme Court. The judges of the Supreme Court. And in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, I will narrow down to Judge Njoki Ndung'u, Philomena Mwilu, and the President of the Supreme Court, and I'm talking about Martha Koome. Now, why have I chosen to only narrow down to them? It's because they are the ones who responded to a petition that is seeking a removal or a total disbandment of the judges in the Supreme Court. Now, we are all aware that Ahmed Nasir, Nelson Harvey, and then we have also Raphael Tuju also as one of those people who petitioned the JSC to have the 7 judges removed. So that is what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Then in a separate story, there is talk that all this is because there is a deliberate plan to replace Martha Koome.
It must come to an end. Hii maneno kama sasa rais amepanga kufukuza Justice Martha Koome. Lakini mimi nakuambia rais, ukifukuza Martha Koome usikanyange hapa Meru. Mimi nataka nikuambie, ulifukuza Rigathi Gachagua, watu ya mlima wakanyamaza. Ukafikiria ni waoga. Tunakuambia rais, wewe panga jama, ufukuze Martha Koome, na wewe ukae Nairobi, usikanyange hapa Meru tena ukifukuza Martha Koome. Sasa hii wabunge ya Meru, Martha Koome anafukuzwa, wamenyamaza. Huyu mjumbe wenu mlimtuma kule akanifukuze.
You know, the target is Martha Koome. I believe most of you heard when the civil society called on Martha Koome to resign. The law society called on Martha Koome to resign. They all called on her to resign because they consider her incompetent. Well, that is what they are telling us, ladies and gentlemen. But we know that when JSC made a decision to front Martha Koome's name during those days of interview, they considered Martha Koome as the most competent person. So we know that it could be politics that is being played, or that could be the case, Martha Koome being incompetent. Now, I want us to go into this story further, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a story that is being cooked. I don't know whether it's true, but I'm still looking for information whether it's true that Kenneth Marende is the one who is supposed to replace Martha Koome. Earlier on, I thought that Isaac Ruto was the one who was targeted, but someone has hinted at a possibility of a Kenneth Marende as a Chief Justice. Have you ever pictured Kenneth Marende being the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya? So in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to explore all those possibilities and the letter that has been circulating about the remarks that came from the 3 judges, Martha Koome, Mwilu, and Njoki Ndung'u. So before we further this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, kindly like this video. It's so important because when you like this video, that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed before. And to existing subscribers, I want to continue thanking you so much, because without you, this channel wouldn't have grown. Now, the JSC was compelled by another high court to force the 7 judges to respond to the petition. Then, another high court ruled that that is supposed to stop. And the second high court's ruling, this is what they said: the grant of leave herein is to operate as a stay to stop the implementation of the decision by the respondents, requiring the 7 judges to submit responses in respect of any other petition whatsoever. You see, the JSC had actually requested the 7 judges to provide responses to the petitions, because that is according to the court's, another court's ruling. Then another court here, I think, I don't know, it's a narrow court, but another court came on board and stopped the JSC from that move of requesting the judges to respond. Now, the twist is here. The JSC is being chaired by Martha Koome. So one wonders how the same commission is going to be fair and force the removal of someone like Martha Koome. I mean, this is the kind of legal quagmire. Let me just use that term because a certain learned person used the word legal quagmire, the situation that the Supreme Court is finding itself in. It's like there's a war between the Supreme Court and the JSC right now. And the JSC is being headed by Martha Koome, who is also a Supreme Court judge and the president of the Supreme Court. So the bone of contention here is Martha Koome has written a letter. The letter was trying to, again, stop the JSC from making that move because according to Martha Koome, she says that Supreme Court is bigger than the JSC. And this is what she said. Indeed, it's the Supreme Court that has the ultimate authority over the first respondent, JSC, on matters of removal of judges of superior courts, Supreme Court. That is a response that came from Martha Koome. So that's why when someone says legal quagmire, indeed, there is some kind of legal quagmire that the courts are finding themselves in. Is the JSC superior to the Supreme Court, or is the Supreme Court superior to the JSC? How comes the JSC is the one that makes recommendation on the Chief Justice, and probably the other judges of the Supreme Court, but they are considered lesser, of a lesser, rank, or they don't have powers? How can they have powers to make a recommendation of someone to be employed, but then again, don't have powers to make a recommendation on a judge to be removed? Right now, if the JSC goes ahead, because again, I understand there is a court, I think, is it court hearing on the 5th of March regarding this issue. That has not been stopped. What has been stopped is the fact that the Supreme Court judges were forced to respond. That is what the JSC has been asked to stop. But the petition before Justice Mugambi will be mentioned again on March 5th. This means the judges are not off the hook. They are not off the hook as at yet. If this issue goes ahead and the JSC is now compelled to form a tribunal to look into Martha Koome and the 7 judges, the conduct, and then there's a recommendation that they're supposed to be removed, that recommendation, if it's taken to by the parliament for again voting, then taken to the president. If it lands on the president's desk, I'm telling you that the president will sign it, and that will force all the 7 judges out. All selective judges will be kicked out. That is what is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. So either this is a move to scare the Supreme Court judges so that they can toe the line and make rulings that favor the government, or there is a deliberate attempt to have them replaced with friendly Supreme Court judges. I eavesdropped on a conversation, and that conversation, the person who was being mentioned was Kenneth Marenge, the former speaker who served between 2007 to 2013. You remember during the national coalition government between Raila Amolo Odinga and Mwai Kibaki. That time, Kenneth Marende is the one who headed that parliament as a speaker. So I think he's a person who is being fronted. Someone is saying that he's a person who is likely to take over from Martha Koome. Of course, there was Isaac Ruto, but Isaac Ruto, being a member of that JSC, will most likely push for this removal of the judges through the inside. And then someone like Marende might be used as the Chief Justice. So that is what we are being confronted with, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this development. Do you think the JSC will succeed in removing these 7 judges? Because that is the concern from the petitioners. The petitioners are, let's not have it, we have Raphael Tuju, and then we have Ahmed Nasir. Ahmed Nasir has some issues with the Supreme Court. Why? Because they barred him from, him and his company from stepping foot in the court. So most likely, Ahmed Nasir is not going to relent until he makes sure that these judges are all sent home packing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.